Next on Belmont Park Live, world record holder at 6 furlongs on the turf, Disco Partner. Proved last year he could stretch out to a mile. He'll try to repeat in the race that silenced his critics. Late last year, Elate proved she was one of the best fillies or mares in the country. Today, she makes her first start back since the Breeders' Cup with an eye on division supremacy. And ready to take her on, fellow Grade 1 winner, Unbridled Mo. The millionaire mare looks for her 8th win and just her 12th lifetime start. Tremendous action from all across the country coming up today on this edition of Belmont Park Live, presented by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Great to have you with us. Beautiful weather here in Elmont, New York, and also at Delaware Park. We'll be checking in shortly with Gabby Gaudette, where we have the Kent Stakes on the turf for 3-year-olds and the Delaware Handicap with Elate going up against Unbridled Mo at 1.25 miles. Greg Wolf alongside former New York Met, LA Dodger Paul LaDuca here at Belmont Park in the Forbidden Apple. This race last year, Disco Partner proved everybody wrong. They weren't sure he could stretch out to a mile. Showed them that he could. Now he'll try and repeat.
Yeah, and he's going to be a handful again in here. This great horse by Disco Rico seems like that he's just getting better with age. In his last race in the Jaipur, he was a little bit up against it. And then listen, at the top of the lane, you couldn't tell whether he was really had his best off the layoff or not. But soon as Irad Ortiz Jr. shook up this gray, he really kicked into gear and won. And he has a nose for a wire. That's just the bottom line. He's 10 for 23. He's the world record holder. He's won this race twice, the Jaipur. He won this race, the Forbidden Apple, last year, like you said, in 133 and change. Just a quality animal, to say the least.
Christophe Clement says, yeah, there's a lot of good horses in here. Not really worried about them. He said, I think they have to worry about us. That's a sign of a confident trainer. Get signed up, started, play along with all these tremendous races we're bringing you on this Saturday of action here on Belmont Park Live. Go to NYRABets.com. New members get a $200 sign-up bonus. Use that promo code LIVE. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime with NYRABets. Let's take a look at today's action. Fans soaking in the beautiful weather and great thoroughbreds that we're going to see on today's card. We'll have this 6th at Belmont next. That kicks off the NYRABets late pick 5 on the turf course, the 7th race. 6.5 furlongs, $35,000 claiming race. Then we'll go to Delaware Park, the Grade 3 Kent Untamed Domain back in action. That 1 1/8 turf event worth $200,000. And that kicks off a cross-country pick 4 as well. That includes the 8th at Belmont, the Delaware Handicap with Elate, and the Forbidden Apple, the anchor leg of that cross-country pick 4, where we will see Disco Partner trying to repeat and defend his title. Weather and track conditions brought to you by Piranha Fly Spray, the preferred fly spray of Belmont Park. Piranha on, pests gone. Those are the conditions at Delaware Park. Fast and firm, and great weather there as well. Tremendous card on hand. Let's go to Wilmington, Delaware, and check in with Gabby Gaudette.
Here at beautiful Delaware Park, which just is about 3 hours south from you guys in Wilmington, Delaware. And of course, today is headlined by the Grade 2 Delaware Handicap and the return of Elate in her first race back since the Breeders' Cup to staff. Now, 1.25 miles on the main track here will be no easy feat, but her trainer, Belmont, says that she's coming into her 4-year-old season bigger and stronger. Now, her main threat will be Unbridled Mo, who comes out of a 3rd-place performance last out in the Ogden Fibs. Her trainer, Todd Pletcher, saying that performance was okay, but ultimately he feels that she is much stronger going around 2 turns, which is why she finds herself in this position here today. So guys, it's going to be an exciting day of racing and an important day for Elate, as today's performance will determine what the rest of the year looks like for her.
Gabby, thank you. Elate proved she was a star last summer. Can she turn into a superstar in her 4-year-old campaign? Let's take a look at the weather and track conditions here at Belmont Park. Main track fast, turf condition firm, mostly blue skies, beautiful conditions for today's action as we're ready to roll. Race 6, again, it kicks off the NYRABets late pick 5 sequence. If you're the only winning ticket on this Saturday, $100,000. Single ticket minimum payout. Paul, it's a mile on the turf. Horses who have not won 2 lifetime.
Yeah, really tough group here. Fillies 3-year-olds and up. And Enthusiastic Gal taking a lot of money right now, probably deservedly, considering her comeback race in 16 on-2. She had so much trouble. And then they brought her to Monmouth Park off a long layoff, and she ran a very good 3rd place finish. She's definitely the filly to beat in here at 2-1, but you can find value with some of the other horses.
2-1 favorite for sure. Enthusiastic Gal on the comeback here for Steve Klesaris. There it is. The Naira Bets late pick 5. 15 minutes to put a ticket together. It has been proving time and time again. It's the best play in racing. And if you're the only winning ticket on this Saturday, a minimum $100,000 single ticket payout. The only way to play it if you do not reside in the state of New York is with Naira Bets. How are you going to play it, Paul?
Well, listen, yesterday we were lucky enough to get it done. It didn't pay that much. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more today. 146. Tis Arbella. I mean, that horse at 7-1 right now is ridiculous. That will come down. Blinkers last time I think helped that horse a tiny bit. Race number 7, 1, 6, and 8. Elegant Gem, my top selection in there. I had to cut down Malibu Stacy out of the ticket in race 8, but the 2 and the 9, Epping Forest is going to be tough in there. But JC Shooting Star likes to win races. I am going to single Disco Partner. I just think he's just too much class. And then race 10, the closeout race, is a difficult 6-furlong state bred. 25,000. What do we always talk about, Greg Wolf? 3-year-old fillies can change overnight. That race is screaming a price.
It is a great sequence. Get involved. Go to NairaBets.com. We'll have a Paddock report from Maggie Wolfendale. And the post parade coming up for this first leg of the sequence. When we return, Enthusiastic Gal, the 9-5 favorite here in the first leg to kick it off. We'll be right back.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase, he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 buyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Claiborne Farm. His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live, Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca, Gabby Gaudette at Delaware Park. We're going to get to Maggie Wolfendale in a moment. I want to remind everyone to get involved with the Belmont Showdown. You don't risk any of your own money, but you're playing for real prizes. Go to naira.com/showdown. It involves the races on our show. I'm involved today.
Yes.
Win, play, show contest. Good luck to everybody.
What's your name so we can look for it?
Wolfman.
Okay, just Wolfman. All right.
43,000 plus in that Naira Bets late pick 5. Time for a Paddock report now. Let's go downstairs. It's presented by Hillendale Farm. Now standing, curling for $150,000. Here's Maggie Wolfendale.
Does that mean I would have to be Wolf Woman, Greg, if I played the showdown contest? But here in race number 6, we'll check in with your current favorite. That is number 6, Enthusiastic Gal, as she comes in off of a very good effort at Monmouth Park. And I don't care who you are, if you're Secretariat or not, it's very tough when you, A, don't have a lead there, especially going on around that turf course at a mile and 16th, and B, trying to chase wide, in which Enthusiastic Gal was doing both of those things. She was trying to close, and she just had this wide, sustained run. And that right there makes her a very, very logical favorite in here. And furthermore, in the paddock, she's just beautifully put together, nicely balanced, elegant frame, very confident here, as well as she is now third off of that extended layoff of nearly 2 years, if you will. So I like Enthusiastic Gal here. I think she makes a lot of sense. As we'll take a look at the horse to her inside in number 5, Cat O' Mine, for trainer Belmont. I was disappointed in her last effort. I thought she had a perfect trip and did not deliver at all. But since then, she's been on the bench, and maybe she had a little bit of an issue, as well as just getting that time off since she's a turf horse. A little worried she might be a little too fresh here and just might benefit from a race to really kind of get her tucked up overall. She is a horse that likes to be forwardly placed, so that energy is good, but that freshness factor might do her in here. As we'll take a look at a horse coming in from California. That is number 7, Tanda's Joy. And Brian Lynch pretty good with his horses that he acquires in turf starts. This is a good-looking filly as well. It's daughter of Kitten's Joy, great size to her, solid. Granted, Brian Lynch's horses always physically look very well, but I thought he might be able to move her up a little bit. And yes, she does need the pace to come back to her, but on the flip side of that, here in the paddock, she is awfully sharp. She is keen too, so maybe we will see a little more pace from her earlier on in this race. Greg?
All right, Maggie, thank you very much. Tanda's Joy coming from the West Coast now with Brian Lynch. Back to the favorite, though, Enthusiastic Gal. And she was facing a lot tougher before she went to the bench a couple of years ago. She's taken a couple of starts to kind of gradually come along and did have a really wide trip. She made up a ton of ground against a very, very slow pace last start.
Yeah, she did. Listen, this is a mare now that at one time obviously had some potential. She broke her maiden for 75 at Belmont in 2015, and that is still on the page. She's only had 6 races, and she's a 6-year-old. The race 2 back, you know, they probably stuck her in there thinking, okay, no one's going to claim her because she's been off for a couple years, and she got in a ton of trouble. Then they put her in for 30 last time, and she ran a good race. Now 40 today, and I think she found the right field. And
you can see the kind of talent that she has. If you look at the past performances, second start of her career, I don't know how much of a positive it is, but she won here at Belmont. It was on the inner turf. We're on the Widener for this race, but she aired second time out for 75 maiden claiming, winning by 5.5 lengths.
There's just nothing in here that can touch that. So, you know, a lot of people do see that on the paper. Now, when you get to the 4, Tiz Arbella, probably the most consistent horse in this race, as in consistently does lag behind and tries to make one run. Now they took blinkers on her last time, and she showed a little bit more speed, but she didn't have the punch towards the end. I don't know where she sits today, but I think she's a player in here just because her numbers, they stack up against the rest of these fillies.
She was 5th, beaten 2 3/4 lengths last time out. As we get a look, there's Tiz Arbella, 7-1 for the James Bond Barn. Dylan Davis will be taking over. Jose Ortiz have been on board the last couple of starts. Our post parade here for a race that kicks off the Naira Bets late. Pick 5 again. If you're the only winning ticket on this Saturday, minimum payout of $100,000, even though there's only $57,000 and growing in the pool. Makes it a must play. We'll be right back.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NairaBets.com.
Bayern turning for home in front. Coast of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back there in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The three of them come to the wire. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern holds on.
You're watching Belmont Park live on MSG Plus, Prime Ticket, Fox Sports San Diego, and Altitude Network. Great to have everyone with us across the country. Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca with you. And our post parade for the first leg of this Naira Bets Late Pick 5 sequence is coming up. And 9-5 favoritism on Enthusiastic Gal. She was off for about a year and a half as you get a look at Sam the Bugler in the call to post. This will be her third start back off that lengthy layoff, and she looked very impressive at Monmouth in her most recent effort. We will see her in a moment. We start with Acorn Street for trainer Brad Cox.
Yeah, this is a horse that might, or a filly that could take this field gate to wire, and that's what she did 2 starts back when she broke her maiden.
4-1 on Acorn Street. Luis Saez will ride. The 2, Quest Tech, Jose Lizcano, John Toscano Jr. team up.
You know, good effort last time when they cut her back a distance to 6 furlongs. The issue is she's 0 for 9 over the Belmont turf.
And 0 for 17 overall on the turf. The 3, Miss Simard, Jorge Abreu trainee with Manny Franco.
Yeah, and Jorge claimed this horse for $16,000 and then put her in for $40,000, and she didn't run that bad. So, you know, getting a tiny bit of money, not really at 20-1.
Tis Arbella. She's been at this level the last 2 starts, 4th and 5th the last 2 tries for James Bond.
Tried the blinkers last time, and it improved her speed, but it didn't enhance her punch. So we'll see what happens today at 7-1. She's a good price.
Cat O' Mine. It will be the 4-year-old debut for this filly for Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado in the irons.
They put blinkers on her in her 2nd start, and she won and broke her maiden for this $40,000 level, but she's been off since November.
The one to beat, and she was impressive in defeat in her 2nd back at Monmouth last out.
Yeah, and you know, the horses from Monmouth that have come to here to Belmont have done okay. Interesting horse from Monmouth to Belmont, been working at Parks.
Tandis Joy coming for the West Coast now with Brian Lynch. Couple back. She got a win via DQ, and the horse she dead heated with in that spot actually would come back and win next out.
You know, this horse is getting a little bit of money because of Castellano and Lynch, but I take the California turf horses, they just don't translate when they come here.
19-1 on Discreet Image. Rider changed Joel Rosario for David Donk.
Yeah, and you know, it's a horse that could show speed with maybe the other horse in here, the 3, Missamar, and a couple others, but Discreet Image is looking to take this field gate to wire.
And Alley to Cavalry, the 9, closing things out at 42-1.
You know, not the worst long shot in the world. The problem is the 2 turf races have just been awful.
Well, you talked about one of the speedsters, that 8, Discreet Image, with more on this 4-year-old filly. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale.
Thank you, Greg. And joined by, joined by Dave Donk here with Discreet Image. And I kind of want to ask you about here, but we'll get to the real meat and bones of this interview a little bit. But Discreet Image, stretching her out here today, Dave, is it just an issue of this course is playing well to speed? And do you think she can last?
Well, off her old form, she did run, you know, mile on the 16th. Her first race back was really good at 7/8. I thought she was really game. And then, you know, I ran her 3/4, 7/8 again, and she folded. I made a mistake and probably ran her 3/4 last time. I'm hoping today speed's her friend.
Yeah. Well, it looks though as it might be that way, but I feel like that's not a speed type, but is very talented. JC's shooting star you'll have coming up in today's 8th race. And if it wasn't for a good turf course, she would be undefeated at the 6 furlong distance. Talk about her, and her win last time was very impressive. Yeah, listen, she's been, kind of a barn favorite, certainly an owner favorite, I think. So, really good filly. I think we've kind of mismanaged her at times. We've run her all over the place, but, we've kind of found her niche now, sprinting on the grass. Obviously a very good race last time. No reason not to expect the same thing today. I'm not sure what the pace scenario is, but if she comes back to her best numbers, she's going to be pretty tough. I was going to say, it doesn't really matter what the pace is with her. It can be slow or it can be fast. She still comes with a run. Well, that's what good horses do. Yeah. So, listen, I think so, yeah. The last time I didn't think she was going to win, and she made that late run. So, yeah, she's doing well. She certainly likes it, and trying to get lucky. All right, Dave, well, wishing you the best of luck here and a little bit later. Thanks for joining us. Thanks. All right, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you. I'm going to see JC's shooting star for David Dunk later today in race 8, coming off a win last time out. Impressive as we look at Acorn Street here. We'll break from the rail for Brad Cox, and this one has shown speed quite a bit. I don't know if this horse is as quick, though, as the David Donk filly.
That's the worry. The David Donk filly is very fast. Now, Acorn Street was chasing 109 and change last time, where Discreet Image was trying to cut that out, like 108 and change. I don't think they're going to go that fast. I envision maybe 110, 111. This turf course obviously is very fast. I liked Tiz Arbella's race last time because I thought the horse showed a lot more speed with the blinkers on, and I think maybe second-time blinkers will improve. And there you see where we have our picks. And listen, Maggie's got the horse to beat. The 6 in the public's got it right. Now at 2-1, you get a little bit better price as your horse should beat.
About to load up. Again, this will kick off the Naira Bets late pick 5. We're up to 88,000 and growing in that pool. And in this card, anywhere, I mean, how difficult was it to find a single somewhere for you?
Well, I think a lot of people that want to gamble are singling the 6 here. People that want to be conservative are probably singling a Disco Partner. People that are in the middle are singling Epping Forest. At least that, to me, that's what it seems like when I've been talking to people around the racetrack. Like, okay, should I take a shot singling the 6 Linda Rice and then the 2 Clement horses, Epping Forest and Disco Partner? Because in the 10th race, I can't find a single there.
Christophe Clement, he has been red hot the last week and a half or so. And, of course, he'll send out Disco Partner and Epping Forest. That is his filly we're going to see in race 8. She is 5 for 7 on this turf course at Belmont, but that is a difficult field. She's in sharp, sharp form, however. Naira Bets, late pick 5, it begins here. And Enthusiastic Gal, the 6th, the one to beat. Let's send it upstairs for the call of the 6th to the voice, New York Racing. Here's Larry Colmus.
One left to load here. Elate to Calvary coming up to complete the line here. Taking up position in the outside stall, and they're all in line. They're off. And Discreet Image has a very good beginning and goes out to lead them early with Cat O' Mine away running in second and Quest Tech out third from the inside. Elate to Calvary broke 4th and sits back about 3 lengths from the front. Then Miss Simard, Enthusiastic Gal, followed by Tiz Arbella and Acorn Street on the inside. The trailer is Tanda's Joy as they head up the backstretch, where it is Cat O' Mine leading Discreet Image now by 1.5 lengths. Cat O' Mine's going to kick on here after a 23.06 quarter. Discreet Image is now 2 lengths off of her and 2 clear of Quest Tech. Then Elate to Calvary on the outside. Miss Simard is 6 lengths from the front, running along in 5th, moving for the turn. Break of another 2 to Enthusiastic Gal outside of Acorn Street, then Tanda's Joy, and the trailer is Tiz Arbella. Into the turn. Cat O' Mine ran 46.98 for a half mile. Leads by 1.5 lengths to Discreet Image. Quest Tech taken outside in 3rd. Elate to Calvary is 4th. Miss Simard on the inside 5th. Enthusiastic Gal is going up 6th, 6 lengths off the lead. Tiz Arbella's getting going now. Splitting horses in, sent up on the outside. Cat O' Mine to catch Discreet Image, moves up alongside of her and takes over at the top of the stretch. It's Discreet Image to the front. Quest Tech on the outside. Elate to Calvary is there. Down toward the inside comes Miss Simard, then Enthusiastic Gal. Final 16th, it is Discreet Image in front. On the far outside, here comes Enthusiastic Gal zooming on by now. Enthusiastic Gal takes the lead and takes off for the wire. Wins it by 3. Discreet Image was second. Alley to Calvary was third. Then a photo between Cat O'Mine and Tiz Arbella in 1:34.13.
Favorite starts off this number. Bets late pick 5 with a win. Enthusiastic Gal wide into the stretch and had no problem getting the job done here.
Listen, I read Ortiz. He gambled a little bit here and he rolled the dice. He had a ton of horse and he could have just surrounded this field. About right here, I was wondering, why are you not going around these horses? And then when he asked, she had plenty left, but he decided to split and got a pretty good split. But what does he end up doing? He ends up going to the cleat outside anyway, where he probably could have circled him earlier. He was trying to save ground. I think maybe he didn't think he had this group beat by this much, because right now she looks like she's in a tiny bit of trouble, then it's all over. But if you had her on top and you didn't have any of the favorites behind her, you're going to get rewarded. You get the 8 Discreet Image, who came off the pace a tiny bit, by the way, and then the 9 here at 59 to 1 to round out your try.
6, 8, 9, yeah, big number. Yeah, Cat O'Mine, that was surprising, but Maggie mentioned what we're going to see from this filly being fresh for Belmont. So fresh, she went to the front,
right,
surprisingly, and actually grabbed the lead from the 8. But in the end, Enthusiastic Gal just a little bit too much for this field. Very impressive.
Yeah, she was. And kudos to Joelle Rosario, who got Discreet Image to sort of relax. She's never really been able to pass horses. I thought she ran a dynamite second.
60th win of the meet for the meet's leading rider, Irad Ortiz Jr. Gets the job done. Meanwhile, still to come, his younger brother. We're going to see him at Delaware Park. In the Delaware Handicap, he will have the mount on Elate as she makes her 4-year-old return. That is last year's Eclipse Award winning rider, ready to get back to work on a very talented filly. Stay with us.
Kentucky Derby winner Orb has emerged as one of the nation's most promising young stallions. The leading freshman sale sire of weanlings, yearlings, and 2-year-olds, his first runners are off to a fast start. His debut winners have dazzled on the track, scoring on both dirt and turf. In the sales rate, his yearlings continue to command top prices, including the $1 million co-sale topper at Saratoga. Outstanding value, outstanding results, or standing at Claiborne Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live, our show brought to you each and every day in part by champion sprinter Run Happy. That's a look at him in the farm in Claiborne in Paris, Kentucky. We're going to see his runners on the racetrack very soon. He was sensational when he was in action as a sprinter. He never lost when he was sprinting. He did it all while racing without the use of Lasix medication. And he finished off that championship season setting a track record in the Breeders' Cup Sprint at Keeneland.
Yeah, he was some kind of animal. He really was. And pleasure to watch. And I got to see him live. And it's a memory I'll always remember, winning the Breeders' Cup Sprint and passing a horse that was so stubborn in private zone.
Here's Enthusiastic Gal circles wide to get the win here to start off this Naira Bets late pick 5. Irad Ortiz Jr. again his 60th win at the meet.
Well, it took a long time for the 6-year-old to get her second win by Ecclesiastic out of the Maria's Montmare. That's why she gets all that grade. Twiggles. That's her mom's name. Twiggles. How can you not love that? $6.30. Congratulations, Steve Closeris. Quietly 40% at the meet.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
From limited starters. Gonna take a look at what's trending right now in the industry. And speaking of Claiborne, one of their stallions continuing to have more and more success. International superstar Sire Warfront gets another Group 1 score as U.S. Navy flag rolls across the line first in the Darley July Cup Stakes at Newmarket with Fleet Review, another Warfront, finishing in third. Let's take a look at this performance here. This was European champion 2-year-old from last season for Aidan O'Brien.
Well, it was impressive. And, you know, most of the time you don't see leaders of packs go on with it, especially in this type of racing. Front runners, they tend not to train their horses to be front runners like this, but he took it to him from the bell here and wins this race basically gate to wire. It's really hard to tell when they're split in groups if he's in front, but you could tell now he's in the middle, and now he's getting all kinds of challengers at him. And he fends them all off. At one point, he looked like he was going to run 4th or 5th in this race. He's on his wrong lead, but that doesn't matter. He's just going to sprint away. He ends up winning it comfortably.
This was his first start against older horses as well. Off that performance, this news follows. Where he's going next, Bloodstock News has learned the colt has been handed their slot for $13 million, the Everest at Randwick on October 13th. That's similar to the Pegasus Cup. Those slots go for $600,000 each at $10 million or $13 million. It's the richest turf race in the world, the richest race in all of Australia. That's going to be exciting.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool. And 13,000, or you said, what is it? It's on October 13th, and they made it like 13 million to get in. I wonder if it's Friday the 13th.
Well, that was yesterday, so that's could be. We'll see. I haven't checked my calendar ahead. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. A lot of numbers going on there.
Right.
Still to come. Elate trying to make a triumphant return in her 4-year-old debut, trying to get 1.25 miles. Her first start of 2018. She was sensational when we saw her last year. Will she pick up where she left off? We will find out next.
And they're off to New York, the premier state bred program in the United States. When you own a New York bred, your horse can run for more than $44 million in purses, restricted to registered New York breds. And the New York program pays awards to breeders, owners, and stallion owners when their New York breds finish first, second, or third at New York tracks. We have the quality.
Audible, no doubt about it.
You have the opportunity. New York breds, get with the program. The best program.
It is Elate coming to the final furlong in the Alabama, putting away It Is Well. It is Elate coming to the final furlong in the Alabama. Putting away It Is Well. Salty runs through an opening on the inside up into third. Lockdown is fourth. And then Actress on the outside, but Elate is clear. Elate has moved away to a 4-length lead in mid-stretch. It Is Well clings to second, and then it's Salty. Elate has won the Alabama.
That was the true coming out party for Elate last summer after a race that she could have won perhaps against Abel Tasman. Some great race riding by Mike Smith. He was able to turn the tables, and Elate was just sensational that day. She won by 5.5 lengths. She would go on to win the Beldame in her first try against older fillies and mares, and then she'd wind up fourth in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. This will be the first start back.
Yeah, and it wasn't a disgraceful fourth when you're losing to mares like Forever Unbridled and Abel Tasman and Paradise Woods, and she didn't get off to the best breaks that day, and this will be her basically 4-year-old debut, usually a horse's best race, but she's going to have to be ready at a 1.25 miles, and I'm sure the Hall of Famer Belmont does.
If favorite Elate finishes second, you can get your money back with Naira Bets. Bet $20 to win on any one horse in the Del Cap, and if your horse finishes second, you get that $20 back. So take your chance, maybe on a long shot, or if you stick with the favorite, either way, you get a second chance if your choice finishes second by playing with Naira Bets. This is coming up. The Naira Bets Cross Country Pick 4. It begins with the Kent Stakes, 3-year-olds on the turf. Traveling 1.1 miles, then race 8 at Belmont is leg 2. The third leg is the Delaware Handicap with Elate, and we'll close it out with the Forbidden Apple back here at Belmont. So a neat sequence that begins at 4:56 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is how you can play it. Look at XCP4 for Cross Country Pick 4 on your Naira Bets device, and this is how Paul LaDuca played it.
That's all you need to do. Punch my ticket. 159 in the Kent. Carrick for Thomas Morley, you know, Maggie. That horse has got a giant future. Untamed Domain, the horse to beat, and way early. 129. I like Teresa Z a tiny bit that's in the next race. But I like in race number 8, Malibu Stacy, JC Shooting Star, and obviously Epping Forest. Then when it comes to the Delaware Handicap, I am going to go deep in that race. I thought it was very difficult. Then back to Disco Partner, because I just think that's the horse to beat. And a neat little wager, the Cross Country Pick 4. I want to say it paid pretty good last time we had this promotion, so get involved.
The Kent Stakes will kick things off at Delaware Park. 1.1 miles on the turf. It looks like a wide open race. Untamed Domain, he was second in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Getting back to work for trainer Graham Motion, who's with Gabby Gaudet now at Delaware.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, here in the beautiful paddock at Delaware Park. Happy to be standing next to Graham Motion. And Graham, talk a little bit about Untamed Domain and his race in particular last out in the Pennine Ridge and where he was placed.
Yeah, I mean, I take the rap for that. Joe and I talked about it, and we decided that there wasn't much pace in the race. It was a very small field, that we'd put him in the race early. He got very keen. Joe said he almost kind of ran off with him down the backside. It's something we've never done with him before, and I don't anticipate doing it again.
Do you think he gets the pace he wants today?
I hope so. You know, I think the mile 8 helps him, and, you know, hopefully he gets a bit of pace. This turf course is a little tough right now, though. It's very firm. The speed's not coming back much.
In terms of looking at his past performances, Graham, he's raced 9 times, 8 times at different racetracks. Does it help or give him at least a little bit of an advantage that he's only making a short trip from Fair Hill?
Yeah, I hope that helps. I mean, that was one of my selling points to Terry on this race, that it's such an easy ship for him. So, you know, look, he's well-traveled. He's run against some really nice horses. And actually, his form's very good if you take out his last race.
All right, well, best of luck. We're looking forward to seeing him.
Thanks, Gabby.
Greg?
Gabby, thank you. So not going to be forwardly placed in this race. Where's the speed going to come from?
No, that's a good question. Him saying mentioning Terry Finley, the managing partner at West Point Thoroughbreds. You know, Carrick on the inside, I would think has won both of his races from off the pace. Hot Springs, the 2, has a little pace. Maybe blame the rider. Maybe Doug O'Neill and Mario Gutierrez are the ones that take the initiative. Golden Brown, the 6, but Untamed Domain has had gate issues, and the last time he actually broke out of the gate, I think that's why he was so sharp, but he's the one to beat in there.
Race 7 here at Belmont Park, approaching the 10-minute mark to post. It's for non-winners of 2 lifetime, $25,000 claiming tad. Horses traveling 6.5 furlongs as we look at Magari, who was one of the favorites on the morning line. It's time for a Paddock Report with Maggie Wolfadale. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Byron for $25,000. Maggie?
Greg, thanks. And I'm sure Connections hoping that Magari gets brave out on the front end, as hopefully Dylan Davis is aggressive with her from the rail, as she looks to be the fastest filly in here. I know she's never really secured a lead from the onslaught of a race, but she should here. She's in the right position to do so, and this is a field filled with horses that maybe they don't necessarily love passing others. And she looks great here, coming in off of that win, breaking her maiden last time out against a pretty weak and suspect field, but still, at least she has that confidence going for her, and she shows it here in the paddock. Moving on to number 6, Elegant Gem, who has yet to run on a course, on a fast track, I should say, and she looks great overall. Don't get me wrong here. She's actually a little bit more settled than I've seen her in the past, which is a good thing. But the thing with her is that I don't know if a dry dirt track is really going to suit her, because that sloppy track in which she won on is really physically what she's suited for. She's a bit of a narrower filly with those small feet where she can skip over that surface. We'll see here. Obviously, Connections having, I think, a bit to do with her, and that she is going to go out for Linda Rice and Irad Ortiz. That makes her a pretty logical favorite. As we'll also check in with number 7, Say Sinsen, who is second off of a layoff. And because she is that bigger type of filly, wondering if she's one that kind of needs to race into fitness a bit, because her last race off the bench for 35 was not good. And she takes another drop here in class a bit. But going back, she does have the best races of any horse in here on the main track. And I know turning back, maybe that isn't suited for her, where there isn't that much speed in here overall. But then again, sometimes a surprise as far as distance is concerned will wake a horse up here. She does look fit in the paddock. See what Say Sinsen does second off the bench, Greg.
Maggie, thank you. 7-1. And Rajiv Mirage will be a rider change on the 7-horse coming up in race 7. There's a look at the field again. Current odds, as Maggie said, Linda Rice, Irad Ortiz Jr. The Connections alone make this one very difficult to beat, but the only dirt start, intriguing as well, but it did come on a sloppy racetrack. It was dominant, but what can the horse do on a fast track? We shall find out coming up. Still ahead, the start of that cross-country pick for the Kent from Delaware Park. And Carrick, I know Maggie's going to be keeping a close eye on this one. Her husband, Tom Morley, sending out this undefeated runner, taking a big step up in class.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Opening day, Friday, July 20th at Saratoga. We cannot wait. We're going to be there live the entire meet with Saratoga live. Be sure and catch us, or if you want to make a trip there, which you should, tickets are on sale now. Reserve your seat in the Grandstander Clubhouse for Saratoga's biggest events, or be one of the first to sit in that all-new exclusive area, The Stretch. Make Saratoga Racecourse your summer place to be. Get your seats today at NYRA.com/Saratoga. And also play along from wherever you may be with all the races that we bring you and all the other tracks around the country by going to NYRABets.com. New member sign-up bonus, $200 in your account just for being a new member. Use the promo code LIVE to take advantage. Go to NYRABets.com, get signed up, started, and you can get down in a pick 4 that we have coming up in just about 5 minutes. We're going to have a post parade here shortly as everyone making their way trackside now to see what happens here in race 7. And yeah, Linda Rice's runner, Elegant Gem, the only dirt start. It came on a race that was taken off the turf. Aired going away to win by 7.5 lengths, but we don't know if the horse can run on a fast main track.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, sometimes those numbers can be inflated too.
Here's the one to kick things off. Magari for the Jimmy Bond Barn. Dylan Davis rides.
Well, 5th time was a charm on the 25th of May as this filly broke her maiden. She was getting closer and closer, and maybe now as a 4-year-old, or at least with a little bit of layoff, she's grown a little bit.
2 a scratch. Here's a 3. She's a Kitty Cat for James Ferraro and Pablo Fragoso rides.
Yeah, 1 for 11 lifetime. Look for her late. She likes to run her races upside down from back to front.
Princess Micaiah, this was a great moment. We saw it on our show. Talbert Howell, his first ever win at Belmont Park, and the horse won going away by 4.5 lengths.
Yeah, ran into the right field that day, as you could tell. 65-1 the time before that, 7-1, a little bit below 7-1, and still crushed that field.
My Girl Annie is the 5. Mike Leslie rides for Gary Contessa, coming off a 3rd place finish.
Claimed 3 starts back out of the Chad Brown barn, usually not a good thing, but ran an okay 3rd last time out.
Here's the favorite, 6-5 on Elegant Gem, the one to beat for Linda Rice.
Like we said, the one race off the turf was a winning one, but it was on a sloppy racetrack, never raced on dry dirt.
Say Chin Chin, rider change, Rajiv Mirage for Abigail Adsit, coming off a distant 3rd in the mud, race taken off the turf.
Yeah, 1 for 30 lifetime, and the one win was at Parks over a wet, fast racetrack.
And Honeygram rounds out the field for Rick Violet, Manny Franco aboard.
I thought the dangerous horse, you look at this horse's first race of her career as a 2-year-old, it wins this race probably. But that was the only race she's run. She's gone backwards since.
Yeah, probably just regressed a little bit.
Yeah.
See that pick 4 pool? 300,000 plus and growing. Let's check in over at Delaware Park. Riders up as we get set for the Grade 3 Kent at 1 1/8 on the turf. And we saw Gabby Gaudet tuck to Grand Motion with Untamed Domain, who was in that Pennine Ridge. Yeah, the running of that race, we all know the history. Most of us do anyway. Catholic Boy, analyze it. Catholic Boy has come back to beat that horse 2 times in a row. But in that race, Untamed Domain kind of ran up with him to try and stay with him and then just kind of inexplicably dropped out of it.
Yeah, you know, I think Joe was recognizing that Catholic Boy and Analyze It were sort of getting away. Channel Cat sort of ran from back. He was the only one that really made up any ground and passed Untamed Domain. Maybe he's just not in the same caliber as Catholic Boy as Analyze It, because we did see them go at it again. But he might be the best of this group. So I don't fault the ride. You know, even Graham telling Gabby that, you know, it was my fault a little bit. But yeah, I thought you had to be up towards the pace that day if you want to beat Catholic Boy and Analyze It, because they're that talented.
Now, as we heard from Grand Motion, we're going to see him make that late run, which he has usually done in his career this afternoon. He is the 8-5 favorite on the board, the son of Animal Kingdom, who, of course, Grand Motion trained to win in the Kentucky Derby and the Dubai World Cup. And there's a look at Hot Springs for Steve Asmussen. This horse has put together back-to-back victories, just leaving our screen there, but a big test here.
Yeah, it's a big test here, but you're right. A colt by Uncle Mo that is just going in the right direction.
We will get back to Delaware for the Kent. Kicks off that cross-country pick 4 in just a moment. We have a post parade, though, that we'll get to there shortly. About to load here, though, for the late pick 4 at Belmont. And a lot of money on the board to Elegant Gem. Maybe because no one knows where else to go, at least in terms of form in this race. Who's going to step up? Let's check in with Maggie Wolfendale.
Guys, want to check in with a filly who sitting to the inside of your current favorite, an Elegant Gem. That's My Girl Annie. Now, 2 back this gal was eased in the same kind of condition. Now she comes back with a lower profile rider and actually runs okay to be third. She just stayed on. It was a race that kind of really held together 1, 2, 3 right around the racetrack. And I will say though, physically, she looks great. I mean, she's really carrying her weight well. Granted, she's always kind of been that type, but just completely dappled. And if she runs a similar race to what she did last time, it could put her right there, 2, 3, 4. I don't think she's necessarily a win candidate, but she could find herself here in the mix. Now, a filly that is taking some money on the outside, currently your second choice is number 8. That is Honey Graham. I'm wondering if Honey Graham, well, she might be kind of smart, in that she was a filly that was cranked up to win in her debut, and she got it done. Then she realized what this game was about and realized, hey, I still get to come back to the barn. I get to eat. I get, nice digs here at Rick Violet's barn. I don't really have to run that much anymore. Furthermore, she is a filly that never really grew, too. And a lot of times that's when we see horses that showed promise early on, they don't go on from there. She may have found the right kind of field, and I do think that sprinting on the dirt is her game after they've tried literally every other type of condition. But still, I just really question this filly's overall desire and ability level now that she's just facing older company. Greg?
All right, we'll see. A 3-year-old filly, the 8, taking on Elders in here, but this is the lowest level that she's been at yet. She was against Elders last time. That was on the turf, though, for 40 non-winners of 2 in for 25 today.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough to gauge. Maggie brings up a ton of good points, and, can she improve at 2 to 1? Wow, that's crazy. I'm surprised that the 1 is not really getting bet into these 2 horses because I thought her race is just as good as the other ones. So we'll see.
Here's the quick look at the favorite. Just left our screen. Elegant Gem, 8 to 5 as they begin to load. And there she is at Kitty Cat, coming off back-to-back 4th place finishes. I thought she could show some improvement here for James Ferraro.
Yeah, she's the type of horse that needs the race to break down a tiny bit. And is there enough speed in here? I don't know. What's going to happen early is going to be very key. It's going to happen late here.
Right at $500,000 in the late pick 4 pool. Elegant Gem for Linda Rice. Only dirt start. She won a race taken off the turf by 7.5. Can she follow it up with another win on the main track as she returns to the dirt? We will find out. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call. Here's Larry Colmus.
Honey Graham takes position in the outside stall. They're all in line. They're off. Oh, a terrible start there for Say Chin Chin, who hopped in the air as the gates opened and lost several lengths. Honey Graham is going out to the early lead with Magari away running in second on the inside. My Girl Annie is third. Elegant Gem is fourth. And then comes She's a Kitty Cat and Princess Micaiah. Say Chin Chin lost all chance at the break and trails the field as they make their way for the turn. Honey Graham on top here, 23.01 the opening quarter mile, on top a length and a half. Magari second by 2. My Girl Annie tracks in third. Elegant Gem is fourth on the outside. She's a Kitty Cat is next, and then Princess Micaiah, and a good 15 back to Say Chin Chin. It is Honey Graham leading them along on the far turn. On top by a length and a half. Magari continues to pursue from second. My Girl Annie is third. 46.68 was the half. Elegant Gem is fourth on the far outside. And cutting the corner is She's a Kitty Cat. They're into the stretch. Honey Graham. Honey Graham still going strong here with a 2.5 length lead and a furlong to go. Magari is second. She's a Kitty Cat has now come through on the inside. Up into second, trying to close the gap. Then comes My Girl Annie, followed by Elegant Gem, but it's Honey Graham. Honey Graham's going to win it by 2.5 lengths. She's a Kitty Cat was second. Then My Girl Annie and Elegant Gem in 118.1.
Manny Franco, aggressive early. Honey Graham gets to the front and steals this race.
You're right. He won the race in the first quarter mile. He was intent on getting this filly to the front end, and that was the winning move. The 3 here, She's a Kitty Cat. Good call by you because this horse was 11 to 1 and ran on to be nice second here with Pablo Fregoso.
Honey Graham wins for Rick Violet, Ralph Evans, and Manny Franco. And then there's the 3 trying to make up some ground. Not going to get to the winner, but let's put away the rest of the field here.
Yeah,
bit of a price, create some value underneath.
Very tight for third, but no, it looks like the 5 is going to hold on for third. So you're going to get a little value here in your trifecta again.
We'll on the prices from race 7. When we get back here, let's go to Delaware Park and the post parade. The Grade 3 Kent. Again, this race going to kick off that cross-country pick 4 that includes the Del Cap and race 8 and 9 from Belmont Park, including that Forbidden Apples. You get a quick look at the field. Going a mile and 1/8 on the turf for 3-year-olds. It's Untamed Domain for Graham Motion, the horse to beat at 7-5. We'll kick things off in the post parade with Carrick, who we'll see here in just a moment. Trained by Tom Morley. John Velasquez will be aboard Carrick. There is the one.
Carrick is a son of Giants Causeway. It's all right. We just had a little bit of a hiccup there in the post parade. We'll get it to you here in a little bit. But yeah, Carrick right now 5-2. We're just going to go live to it. And you can see Carrick is getting money. Untamed Domain at 7-5. Now the 2 Hot Springs and the 6 Golden Brown. Now we were talking about Patrick McBurney. For a lot of people that don't know him, he's a very good trainer. This horse ran a good second last time out. The 2 Hot Springs I know is an up-and-coming horse, but do you think they can beat the horse on the screen is what we need to know, Greg.
Untamed Domain, the 5, absolutely. He is the one to beat. For more, let's go live to Delaware with Gabby Gaudet.
Well, we're getting set and ready to go for the Grade 3 Kent coming up next here. And we'll start off with the favorite in the number 5, Untamed Domain. And taking a look at this horse in the paddock, you know, he came over calm, cool, and collected. He did get a little bit heated up, but it's hot today, so I don't take that as a negative. As soon as the rider was legged up, he really looked impressive, kind of beefed himself up and was impressive coming out to the track. So this is a horse, you know, who was compromised by dynamics. Last time out, he was too forwardly placed. As we talked to Graham Motion a little bit earlier, they're going to be taking him off of it and hope that that pace does ensue for him. So I have no negative comments on the favorite right now. We'll check in with the inside horse in the number 1, Carrick, and he was one who really was impressive in the paddock. Now, you can see him building up a little bit of a lather on his shoulder and behind, but once again, it is hot out here, although he was getting a little bit hot in the paddock too. So we'll see what he can do. This is a big step up in class, but the one thing about these inside post positions that I think is an advantage, and that is the case for both the 1 and the 2, and that going a mile and 1/8 on the turf here, you kind of break on the turn. So an inside post is really advantageous given this configuration of the track. We'll check in with the 2 Hot Springs just to his outside. Guys, I'd have to say that this horse impressed me the most, just his demeanor going 9 furlongs. A horse that's getting at a distance. He's never been this distance before in the past, and he hasn't turned a hair. Did not build up a lather. You can see him, his ears are pricked. I love his demeanor and his professionalism. He just is showcasing a lot of class today. And last but not least, the 4 Gunnison. At a big price, I would totally use this horse, guys. He's coming in off of back-to-back victories, arguably against lesser company. He's going to have to step it up again today. But he is another one that's a cool customer. Ears pricked, good energy that I see from him. He might not be good enough, but he's definitely showing that he might have his best performance here today.
Gabby, thank you. And there is the 4 Gunnison stepping closer to the gate there. He's won back-to-back starts at Laurel and a stakes race at Monmouth. She brought up an interesting point, too, with the configuration of this turf course at a mile and 1/8 at Delaware. It's sort of 2 3/4 turns.
Yeah. We'll see if it affects the 9, because I think way early's got a big shot, the 9.
Untamed Domain, the one to beat the favorite as we start our cross-country pick 4. Here's the Grade 3 Kent. Let's go to John Curran.
And the 7 acting up a bit now. Archigelos calms down. And they're off in the Kent Stakes. Carrick breaks well toward the inside, as does Hot Springs. Gunnison is there. Golden Brown up on the outside. Archigelos, a scrimmage for the lead as they race down the chute. Archigelos going to come out on top, it appears, from the outside. Archigelos to the front by a length and a half. Hot Springs toward the inside. Carrick has the rail in tight quarters there. Up on the outside, Golden Brown is on the move, vying for that second spot as they come by the finish line the first time with Archigelos, and Mario Pino will try and take him all the way around on the front end. Archigelos by 2 lengths. Off the rail just a bit, though. Down to the inside, it is looking to move up there. Hot Springs up on the outside, Golden Brown. Carrick still in tight quarters. Up there 3 wide, that is way early. as they make their way around the bend. Gunnison between horses, then the gray Duke de Calais, followed by the trailer Untamed Domain. Opening quarter win in 24 and 3, 48 and 2 for the half. Comfortable fractions. Archiegelos all in the front end, leads it by a length and a half. Way early, showing more speed than usual up into that second spot. Hot Springs has the rail. Up on the outside, that's Golden Brown, followed by Carrick. Now got off the rail, has clear sailing up on the outside. They begin to bunch up. Untamed Domain toward the inside will need some racing room, followed by Duke de Calais, and Gunnison has dropped back to last. Only 6 or 7 separates the field as they race into the turn. The 6 and 11 and 3, Archiegelos and Pino still in the front end. Way early, still pressing. Hot Springs toward the inside. Carrick is ranging up there 4 wide. Behind horses, Golden Brown, they're bunched to the back, but Archiegelos still solo on the front end as they turn for home. Archiegelos and Mario Pino trying to steal this one. Hot Springs down toward the inside. Untamed Domain, nowhere to go. Had to take up. Golden Brown's coming with a run. And now Hot Springs is coming on through the inside. It's Golden Brown bidding for the upset. Hot Springs on the inside. And Golden Brown in an upset here at 15 to 1 wins the Kent. Hot Springs got second. Carrick up for third. Untamed Domain had a tough trip down the lane.
Golden Brown with a win in the Grade 3. Canford trainer Patrick McBurney in a lot of trouble there on the rail for Untamed Domain, who had to check in the stretch.
Yeah, look at the 5 right here, okay? You got the yellow and the black stripes. Watch Jose Ortiz. He's going to try to roll the dice along the pine right here, and it's just going to get shut. There's just no room. I think he thought he had room right here, but we're playing a ball game that's called no one's passing inside, and that's what happened. Fergal Lynch on Hot Springs said, that's my spot. And hey, listen, the 2 is finishing with a tiny bit of gusto. I don't think, see if the stewards will take a look at it. You can see Untamed Domain continues to move forward, a little bit unlucky. They'll see if they'll take a look at it.
Is the 2 in trouble here?
You don't know. You can't really tell. But listen, Fergal Lynch had a position. We got to see if there was an opening. Now, you can see Jose Ortiz. He's saying something to him, or maybe he's not. Looked like he was looking at him, but
we'll see if we can get a head-on look at it. But yeah, it's certainly tough trip for Untamed Domain. Hot Springs takes away that ground. He's in the green silks, just to the outside of the 5. Tough to tell from that angle.
Well, if you can look at Fergal Lynch, if we can go back to that again real quick. Fergal Lynch on the 2 is steady as can be as he's blocking Jose Ortiz. Once he blocks Jose Ortiz, then he gets into the 2 Hot Springs. I'd like to go back to that again real quick if we can. One more time. Watch Fergal Lynch's hands on the 2. He knows that he has Jose Ortiz pinned on the rail, and then he goes on the horse after Ortiz pulls up. So I'm wondering if he had that position already. We'd obviously have to see the head-on to see if we can go.
Golden Brown, though, well done for Patrick McBurney, ABL stable. And Iro Rendon, your winning connections here. This horse has now won 2 of his last 3. He just missed by a half length in the stakes race at Monmouth, but this has beaten a whole different kind of field, so congratulations. Meanwhile, back here at Belmont Park, Honeygram gets to the front and gets the win under Manny Franco.
Yeah, congratulations, Manny Franco, excuse me, and Rick Violette here. Graham Hall out of the Monbrook mare. How about right now? And right now it was today.
All right, let's take a look at this head on. The inquiry sign has been put up. Watch. I guess we're already happened at this point. We're looking at the green silks there on the inside.
Okay, pay attention to Fergal Lynch. See how he has him blocked right here? And now he goes. So he knew that he had the 5 blocked, and he was trying to hold his position, and then he goes. Now we got to look at the head-on and see what happens from there or not, because did it cost the 5 a position? Of course it did. And you know what? The 2 ran second, but he had some horse as well.
Absolutely. See if we'll try and get as many looks at that as we can. Golden Brown, though, that's your winner.
No doubt about the winner. Hey, and you know what? When you go back and you look, Greg, you made a good point about Golden Brown. Horse that was going from 6 furlongs to 1 mile and 16 on the turf. You're throwing so many things at a horse. 2 turns. You're throwing turf at the horse. You're throwing everything at this colt. And what happens? Runs a good second, and then today gets rewarded with a Grade 3 win.
So there it is again. We just got another look at it.
It doesn't look like much, right?
Really?
Really? Can't tell?
I got to see it again. Definitely have to see it again. So Jose Ortiz, he's lodged that objection against Fergal Lynch on the 2 Hot Springs. As Golden Brown, it will not affect him and his connections.
There's Patrick McBurney. A lot of people don't remember Patrick McBurney. You remember a guy named John Forbes. He was his assistant for a long time, and they trained some darn good turf runners. This is not surprising at all, but this horse won.
And that's the risk you take, right? Taking that kind of inside trip along the rail.
That is. Listen, you know, Jose Ortiz tried to take the inside route. Did he have a ton of horse? Yes, but for him to beat the 6, he knew he had to go inside because the 6 got the jump on him. And Hot Springs shut the door.
Big win for that young man right there.
Yeah.
Jairo Rendon getting a grade 3 victory here in the Kent Golden Brown. That's just his second start on the turf in his debut. State bred stakes race at Monmouth. Second beat a half length at 16-1. He's another price this afternoon and now a grade 3 winner. Back with prices right after this.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Back on Belmont Park Live in the Grade 3 Kent at Delaware Park. We have an objection. Jose Ortiz on Untamed Domain. Lodged against Fergal Lynch on the 2 Hot Springs. Green Silks.
All the way to
second
the right.
from the fence. Right there, shutting off Untamed Domain in those Gold Silks.
Yeah, so listen, was there something there? Maybe not. There was not a hole there. But Fergal Lynch intentionally took his horse and basically tried to put Jose Ortiz over the rail. That's what I just saw just now. On the pan view, it looks like he was stopping because he had the horse blocked, but he didn't. He took a hold of the horse and intentionally shut off the horse to the inside. So I don't understand why the horse is still up, to be honest.
They're looking at it. Stewards are looking at it. And it looks like a very good case that the two may be coming down here. Let's go to Gabby Gaudet for more.
Thank you, Greg. Well, of course, it is not official just yet, but here with trainer Patrick McBurney, who does send out the number 6 Golden Brown. What was your look at this race? I mean, this was kind of a crazily run race today.
It came up very tough, and we actually thought we'd be in front here. and the 7 beat us to the lead, and he just settled in, and Jairo said he seems like he likes a hold of him better, and he just fired big down the stretch. So.
And what were your confidence levels like going into this race? Clearly he was a big shot. Clearly there were other really accomplished turf runners in here. So what were you feeling?
His last race, even though Jersey Bred Company was against an older champion, and he really ran good, and we thought if he could repeat that race, we might get a piece of this. And straight 3-year-olds, we were happy with this race, so worked out very good.
Good job well done with him today.
Thank you very much.
All right, Greg, we're still waiting for the race to become official, but a big performance from Golden Brown today.
Yeah, huge performance from Golden Brown. Take nothing away from this son of Awfully Wild. Just his second start on the turf for Patrick McBurney, who will be getting the win here when this does go official. But it very good chance we're going to see this 2-horse Hot Springs come down here. Stewart's still taking a long, long look at what happened there in the stretch. And Untamed Domain, we'll never know. He was starting to put in a very big run, but I know Graham Motion's got to be very upset at what may have been when his horse got shut off.
Yeah, listen, it's always a tough thing to go through. Jose Ortiz, I think, thought, okay, I'm behind the 8 ball. I was dead last most way around the racetrack, and Golden Brown and all these horses are getting the jump on me. I have a tiny bit of a hole to try to go through, and it just didn't happen. Now, would he have beaten Golden Brown? No, but he would have been second. I mean, he was rolling. He had more momentum maybe than Hot Springs, and he did not win the photo for 4th. So you could tell they're looking for the photo for 4th. So I don't know how they're going to do this. But I'd be surprised if he stays up to 2. I really would be.
We'll keep you posted on what happens. Still unofficial, but Golden Brown is your winner and not involved in that objection going on. Back here, race 8 coming up next. Leg 2 of this cross-country pick four. 6 furlongs on the inner turf and allowance optional 80 race. Malibu Stacy right now the 9-5 favorite. Time for a Paddock report. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Curlin for $150,000.
Thank you, guys. Actually, just getting in from Delaware, they did not disqualify number 2 in here, Hot Springs. They disqualified Archiegelos from 4th behind Untamed Domain. Very interesting result there at Delaware Park. As we'll take a look at the field here for today's 8th race. JC's Shooting Star, I like her. I mean, she is a filly that, as Dave Donk said earlier in his own words, they may have mismanaged throughout her career and running her in the wrong spots, but she has certainly proved herself as a turf sprinter, where the only defeat she's had going the 6 furlongs on the grass is when it was a good turf course at Aqueduct in a stake race. She was very good last time, as she went against what I thought was a bit of a bias going into that race, where speed just looked to be dominating, and she said, hold my beer, and said, no, that I'm going to come from off the pace and prove you all wrong. She looks fantastic here. She's just really, really hitting her peak physicality now as a 6-year-old mare. But to her inside is an interesting runner in number 1, Malibu Stacy, who has yet to run 6 furlongs on the turf. And as a physical, I like it for her. I'm hoping that connections are pretty aggressive with her, as we see speed doing fairly well, I would say. It's somewhat of an advantage, I would say, in these turf races, and she is sharp in here. She's looking better than ever than I've seen her, at least now in 2018, and her starts here in New York. And like I said, the 6 furlongs may suit her as well, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you very much. Our post-parade coming up here momentarily, 9-5 on Malibu Stacy. I mean, she faced some strong company coming out of that Grade 3 Intercontinental last time out, but this is a loaded field.
Yeah, it is. It's a really loaded field. Some good fillies in here.
We had a change. It did not involve the horse that we saw come over on Untamed Domain, the 2 Hot Springs. That horse stays up. The 4th place finisher, Archiegelos, that horse was 4th. That horse comes down. So 6-2-1-9, the new order of finish in here. You heard Maggie tell us that. Golden Brown, though, your victor in the Grade 3 Kent. Jairo Rendon, Patrick McBurney, and ABL Stable.
How about a hauler for the Jers? Yes, a Jersey bred by Awfully Wild of the Chester House mare, Susie Sunrise, ABL Stable. Congratulations to everybody involved. The son of Awfully Wild, and I guess if you can ride in there at Delaware Park like Fergal Lynch, game on.
And Rendon, by the way, from Colombia, trying to make a name for himself in the States. He was a top rider in Colombia, won a riding title in Panama. He spent years riding in Saudi Arabia. Hasn't really made a name for himself here in the U.S. That is a big win for him.
It's a giant win for him. Congratulations.
back here at Belmont. Whew. A lot going on in that race. This is a look at 3-horse in here, Booze, for Alan Goldberg. That's a trainer who actually used Rendon quite a bit here as he was trying to make a foothold here in the States. Jose Lezcano will be on Booze. I thought this horse intriguing.
Yeah, he's got his only win in the States with Rendon aboard, and he beat the 5 in here. And listen, Lezcano's a very good rider, and he's a good closing rider. I think the 6 furlongs will help him. You know, his first race off the plane, you know, he showed a little bit more speed, but that's not his running style. I think now he's found his running style.
We talked about how hot Christophe Clement has been, that 9-horse. 4-year-old filly, Epping Forest, coming out of that Christophe Clement barn. She loves it at Belmont. 5 for 7 on this turf course. Talk about a horse for course. And her most recent effort was extremely strong. We heard Larry Colmus in that race at the top of the stretch say nothing yet from Epping Forest. She was second to last. All of a sudden, she found another gear and flew home to get the win.
Yeah, she was sort of spinning her wheels, and then when she got the right-handed whip from Rosario, she took off and deep in the lane, and maybe she needed that last race. That could be scary for her rivals today.
Malibu Stacy, though, she is the one to beat right now for trainer George Weaver, the 9-5 favorite. And Irad Ortiz Jr., we just saw him get his 60th win of the meet. He's on board.
Yeah, you know, George shipped his horse to Southern California. It didn't work out. Back here on the East Coast, and I think a little bit better race last time out.
JC's Shooting Star, we will see next. She has won 2 of her last 4 starts. She beat Miss Gossip last time out, the 8 filly in this spot.
Yeah, you could talk about, you know, a couple horses here in Epping Forest being a horse for course. How about JC's Shooting Star? 3 for 10 over this course, 3 of the 5 wins here.
Here is Booze, Jose Lezcano for trainer Alan Goldberg and Colts Neck Stables.
Yeah, this is a filly by Dream Ahead, a Great Britain sire, and, you know, 3 for 14 lifetime, but does bring in some good form.
Sulfide, the 5, Luis Saez for Jane Sabelli, just missed by a half length at Laurel, 5.5 furlong sprint on the turf.
Yeah, they cut back in distance and put blinkers on the horse, and it sort of did work out last time. A good second place finish.
Used to have a lot of speed when she wanted to show it. She has not done that of late. The 8, Miss Gossip, Rajiv Mirage, Carlos Martin.
Well, they tried something different last time out when nobody thought she was going to get to the front, and she did, but she still got run down. I wonder what they're going to do with her today.
And here is Epping Forest for Christophe Clement. He's been on a roll of late, that barn, and again, she loves this turf course.
Yeah, you know what the scary part is, Wolfie, if you look at her 2 races from the outside, the 8, the 12, whenever she's way out, I think she likes it even more.
Race 8 from Belmont coming up, and so is the Delaware Handicap, Grade 2, and Elate making her return. The homebred for Claiborne Farm and Adele Schneider. Back to the racetrack. Going 1.25 miles when we come back.
Switches back to the outside. Exaggerator down to the 16th pole. But Exaggerator has turned the tables. He has won the Preakness. Phoenix has won the Travers over American Flag. Irish War Cry has won the Wood Memorial. Alice. Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Back on Belmont Park Live. Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca, Gabby Gaudet at Delaware Park. And we're going to take another look here at this stretch run in the Grade 3 Kent where there was a disqualification for fourth. It was Archilagos, the 7.
It was on the
White,
front.
black, and green diamond silks.
So I guess the stewards are saying the horse on the front. Look at the 3 horses to the right of your screen. The horse to the first left with the white silks. They're saying came over and caused the 2 to shut off the 5.
So second green cap.
Yes.
2 off the rail in front.
Yes. Let's
All right,
roll
let's
it
take
down.
a look.
Does this horse come over and make the 2 come over on the 5?
Number 7, Archilagos, who was in that dead heat for fourth, has been disqualified for coming over and causing the interference to the 5. Therefore, the 7 has been dropped behind the 5. And as a result of
the 2 did something wrong as well? As the domino effect?
Chain reaction.
Okay. So that was the reason for the disqualification of the 7 horse. We're going to go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale as we shift back here to Belmont Park. Just a minute to post here in the 8th coming up. Maggie?
Yeah, I was hoping for that 2 to come down and get Carrick in the exacta, but we'll have to wait for another day. But a really good run there by him, and only his 3rd career start is Epping Forest. She loves it here at Belmont Park, as you guys were saying. And a filly that I should say 2 starts ago at Aqueduct, which was her first start of 2018. She didn't look the same. She just wasn't carrying the same coat, same muscle mass, and now she's rounding back into that peak physical form that she's carried throughout most of her career. She is a horse that has a devastating turn of foot. I mean, Joel Rosario didn't even really ask her other than a hand ride in her last start. We'll see. Malibu Stacy can be very dangerous here, guys, though, given the fact that she might be the lone speed. We'll see what Miss Gossip and the long shot Sylphide do as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here pace-wise. Irad Ortiz Jr., he can certainly be aggressive. And from that inside slot, we'll see 2-1 favoritism on Malibu Stacy, the 1.
I'm surprised a little bit that she's the favorite, but she's got so much quality. There's not a lot of pace in here besides maybe the 5 that she can maybe put this field away early. Again, Rajiv Mirage, the question, what's he going to do with Miss Gossip? Is she going to go or is she going to rate today?
Yeah, Miss Gossip, the 8, she showed speed last time out. She never does that. But she was on the front end, so is she going to do it again? She had a very aggressive rider on board that day in Kendrick Carmouche, who loves to go to the lead. Sure. He's at Delaware today. It's Rajiv Mirage aboard this afternoon. There she is stepping in, so I don't know if we're going to see that same type of speed. Epping Forest steps in. We are all set for race 8, second leg of this cross-country pick 4. Let's go upstairs to Larry Colmus.
Ready for the start. They're off. And Miss Gossip missed the break. Good beginning for Boos and Sylphide. On the inside, it's Malibu Stacy. These 3 out to the front together with Epping Forest behind them running in 4th. JC Shooting Star is 5th. And Miss Gossip is last early after not the best of beginnings. Malibu Stacy and Sylphide go on with it, and Boos sits just off of them. Racing 2 lengths off the lead. Epping Forest has 5.5 lengths to make up. JC Shooting Star is next. And Miss Gossip, 21.68. A contested opening quarter mile set by Malibu Stacy and Sylphide. And they're a half length apart of the turn. They've opened up 3.5 on Boos. Epping Forest is next. Miss Gossip moving up on their outside. And in behind a wall of horses is JC Shooting Star, who will save all the ground to the top of the stretch. Malibu Stacy and Sylphide turning for home together. It's Malibu Stacy in front. Sylphide trying to get by in the last furlong. Epping Forest closing the gap on the outside. Farther out, JC Shooting Star. Boos is down toward the inside. And Miss Gossip, it's Malibu Stacy joined and passed by Epping Forest. Epping Forest to the front and moving away to win from Malibu Stacy. JC Shooting Star was 3rd and Boos was 4th. The final time was just off the course record, 106.82.
1 tick off the track record. Again, we've been seeing this turf course rock hard, produce fast times, but still an incredible effort out of Epping Forest. She is now 6 for 8 on this turf course.
She broke so sharply, and you could tell right off the get-go she was just going to be a handful in here. She rated very nicely. Malibu Stacy went fast, 21 and change. Got to slow it down a tiny bit, but when you saw Epping Forest that close to the front end, you just know that her kick is just going to outdo a lot of these other horses' kick late. The 2 starts to get rolling here late, but is no match as your 2 favorites, as Epping Forest is, how about this, $3 separates favoritism between the 9 and the 1. But look at how sharply she broke, Greg. And then when that happens, you know, the rider can just do whatever he wants, and then projected did not break well.
Yeah, Miss Gossip not getting out well out of the gate in there. But Epping Forest, 9-1-2-3. And on the inner turf, by the way, where this race was contested, Epping Forest now a perfect 5 for 5. She's never lost over this inner turf here in Belmont, New York. 9-5, slight second choice. Christophe Clement's barn rolling on all cylinders. Still to come, it is the Delaware Handicap. Elate making her return. And there's Hall of Fame trainer Belmont and Eclipse Award winning rider from last year, Jose Ortiz, ready to roll with the filly by Medaglia d'Oro. We'll be right back.
Eclipse champion Blame notched over $4.3 million in earnings, including this historic victory over Zenyatta. Now he's making a name for himself as an internationally successful stallion. Recent top runners include multiple graded stakes winner Fault and French Classic winner Senga. In the ring, his yearlings have sold up to $350,000. Among the top sires of his crop by lifetime graded stakes horses, his 2018 stud fee offers outstanding value. Blame, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Epping Forest gets the job done. Now she is a perfect 5 for 5 on this inner turf at Belmont for Christophe Clement. Joel Rosario for Waterville Lake Stable.
Yeah, now 6 for 11 lifetime. This is filly by exchange rate out of the Pulpit Mare. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. And Drasti, like you said, Waterville Lake Stable. And the kick that this horse is showing, she's getting better as a 4-year-old. And I would beware sprinters trying to face her because she is a tough one.
Back to the Delaware Handicap Grade 2 at 1.25 miles, even money here on Elate. Last year's Alabama winner, the only one in the field who's won at 1.25 miles. I got to ask you this, though, Paul LaDuca. Coming off a layoff like this, trying to win at 1.25 miles, we're going to get to that in just a moment. Let's go to Gabby Gaudet, standing by with a Hall of Fame trainer.
Thank you, Greg. Lots of anticipation seeing Elate come back off of the layoff since the Breeders' Cup to staff. And Bill, in just that, how do you prepare a horse that has not raced in 8 months to tackle 1.25 miles?
Well, we've just trained her normally. I mean, we haven't done anything special or really different. She's a horse that we feel is probably a natural for 10 furlongs, so that's what she wants to do. And you know, we did get some very good works in her. I mean, she's put in several very good works over the deep training track and at the Oklahoma track in Saratoga. And, you know, she galloped out in one of her works 7/8 and 126 and 2, which is a pretty serious kind of workout over that racetrack.
Now, talk about that 7/8 work and kind of the mentality in doing it before coming into today.
Well, I mean, you go 7/8 and then they still got to gallop out. We've got to go 10 furlongs here. So you've got to do enough with them to have them fit. But I think she's, you know, is she screwed down 100%? Probably not. I mean, there's nothing like a race. I don't think there's anything that'll benefit them as much as a race will, but we've got to get started. We only had a couple options to run in, and we chose this. It's a big purse, and she's won over the racetrack before, and she's won at 10 furlongs before. So everything kind of fit into place, and we thought, you know, let's get started. We're 10 furlongs from the winner's circle. It's a long ways, but hopefully she's up to it.
Quickly, Bill, what does she need to show you today to move forward to the personal ensign?
Well, naturally, we want to see a good race. I mean, you know, I'd like to see a very good effort. Does she have to win? No. I mean, you know, they've got to go around there, and there's some horses in here that can run, and there's another Grade 1 winner in here. So, you know, it's no walkover, no pushover. We just want to see a good effort. I'd love to see her win, but that doesn't necessarily have to happen, I guess. But, you know, we'd certainly like to see a good effort to propel us into the next big one.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I think I can speak on behalf of all of us that we're so excited to see Elate back in action today.
And there she is. Only 6 horses have won the Del Cap twice. Trainer Belmont had one of those to do that. Now he'll try and win it again. Of course, that was Royal Delta back in 2012, 2013. As we get a look here at the 8, Nikki, My Darling, Antonio Gallardo, a rider change aboard.
Yeah, and, you know, this one for Anthony Cordarolo, who's very, very sharp trainer. I mean, Creative Cause filly. And she has a couple races at Thistle Downs that are fast, but she needs it her own way on the front end.
And Furiously Kissed, Jose Bracho, blinkers going on. Another Anthony Cordarolo horse coming out of the Fleur de Lis.
Yeah, you listen, 56-1, 3 back, and did run a good third in the Apple Blossom.
4-5 on Elate. She'll try and get a 1.25 miles off those works up at Saratoga on the Oklahoma training track. Will they have her fit and ready to get the job done? First time off the bench. We will find out when we come back.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live as we're getting set and ready to go for the feature race of the day. Of course, the headliner, the Grade 2 Delaware Handicap, and lots of excitement and anticipation as we see the likes of Elate in her first race back since the Breeders' Cup Distaff. So obviously we want to take a close look at her and how she looks coming in off of the layoff, and she looks like an absolute picture. She is dappled from head to toe. She has great weight on her, but at the same time, some muscle definition too, and you can just see her attitude in the paddock. She showcases class, but a little bit of moxie as well. So I love how she's acting, and just her physical presence here today does not look like she is coming in off of an 8-month layoff. And you just got to respect her. She was a filly in her 3-year-old season that just kept on getting better and better, kind of a late developing 3-year-old, even though she was impressive in her 2-year-old debut. But she just kept on taking those steps forward, and it looks like, at least from a physical standpoint, she's continuing to take those steps forward. She's filled out, she's more mature, and even mentally more mature. So again, she looks like a formidable favorite. But her main threat is just to her inside in the number 5 Unbridled Mo. And trainer Todd Pletcher had previously said that he was impressed with her performance last time out, 3rd in the Ogden Fibs, but ultimately she is just a better horse when she goes to turn. So that's why she's here today. And I do like her. She is a very lightly framed mare. She looks very fit coming in here today. I think that she's one that will have the tactical advantage in that she can be a little bit more forwardly placed here too. She does carry the high weight of 120. Look, she is who she is. If Elate shows her A game, I think she's going to be tough to beat. But if she doesn't, Unbridled Mo is going to be sitting right in the catbird seat. And lastly, the 3 Mopetism to the inside for trainer Doug O'Neill. She was interesting. I kind of changed my mind about her today, because when I first saw her in the paddock, she was very lackadaisical. She kind of looked almost like she was falling asleep in the paddock underneath the big trees. But as soon as the rider in Mario Gutierrez hopped aboard her, her ears pricked, she showcased a little bit more energy, and that energy has definitely picked up once she got to the track. So I do like how she's kind of turned it around, guys, since she came from the paddock to the main track today. But just given the way that the 6 Elate looks here today, they all better have the running shoes on.
Gabby, thank you. Well, if Elate off that layoff can bring her A game, of course, no one's going to beat her in this spot, but we'll see. That's the big question mark. 1.25 miles. Can she last that long, having not raced since November 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Distaff? Unbridled Mo for trainer Todd Pletcher. There she is. He has won this race, Pletcher, 4 times in the past. She's coming off that 3rd in the Ogden Phipps behind Abel Tasman.
Listen, she's done nothing wrong. She's 7 for 11 lifetime. She's got $1 million in her bank. She was 9 lengths behind Abel Tasman, and Elate wasn't that far behind. So that's what the public is looking at when it comes to Abel Tasman, is maybe the measuring stick here. And that's why it's 2-1 on Unbridled Mo, and Elate is 4-5. Now, to get to some of the other horses, like the 3 Mopetism, I think a horse has got to look. And then the 1, Teresa Z, who's getting money. Local win at the racetrack, somewhat of a prep. Around 1.1 miles, seemed like she got a little better as they went farther. You know, maybe Teresa Z is the upsetter, and Daniel Centeno is the local rider. He's ridden there so many years in Delaware.
She's based there. She just won the Obeah very impressively. And again, if you're going to try and beat Elate, this is the time to try and do it, right? Off the bench.
Yeah.
That performance, though, in the Obeah was very impressive.
It really was. And, you know, listen, she's had 2 races over this racetrack, and she's lost to Elate, but she had a little bit of issues in the beginning of that race. So you can put Teresa Z not far off the 1 in here. And then the 3 who I wanted to get to was Mopetism. I think the 1.25 miles is going to help her. I think that she wants all of that. And she had a little bit of trouble in the Fleur-de-Lis last time out, and she wasn't able to really launch her run. Look for her late.
There is Hall of Famer Belmont, his Elate. Coming back off the bench, he said he was so happy and would love to see just a big 4-year-old campaign to see what this filly will do for Adele Dilschneider, who has been so important to this game over the years. And, of course, for Claiborne Farm as well. 3rd-generation homebred.
Yeah, and, wow, what a race she put up in the coaching club. I mean, against her and Abel Tasman. They went at it, and then she just dominated the Alabama, dominated the Beldame. And again, she was not disgraced at all in the distaff against 3 other great fillies and mares. So If she gets back to herself, she's the one to beat, but maybe this is the time you can try to beat her.
Elate making her return. First time we have seen her since the Breeders' Cup. Trying to take over. Division dominance may not happen in this race. This is the starting point. We'll see how she fares off the bench. Grade 2, Delaware Handicap, and Elate making her return for Hall of Famer Belmont. Let's send it to John Curran for the call.
Will be furiously kissed. She's up. We're about set. And they're off. In the Delaware Handicap, and it's a good start for them all. Proper Discretion will be the speed, it looks like, early on. Down on the inside, it's Teresa Z. Sneaky Betty is there with Mopatism. Unbridled Mo between horses. Elate toward the outside. Nikki, My Darling, the gray on the far outside. And Furiously Kissed, not real fast tempo early on. So it's going to be a moderate first quarter with Proper Discretion and Augusto Bracho showing the way with 1 mile to go. Opening quarter in 24-1. Leads it by about 2 lengths. Toward the inside, Mopatism. Unbridled Mo. Up on the outside, Nikki, My Darling. Saving all the ground nicely is Sneaky Betty. And on the inside, it's Teresa Z. Followed by Elate. Has 1 beaten right now. That is Furiously Kissed. A compact group, except for the leader, Proper Discretion, as they curl around the clubhouse turn. They've got 6 furlongs to go. The opening half run in 49-1. Very controlled tempo down the backstretch, set by Proper Discretion. Leads it by 2 lengths. Mopatism, closer than usual, racing in second. Up on the outside, it is Nikki, My Darling, right between horses. Unbridled Mo's in a good spot in third now and advancing just a bit. As they make their way down the backstretch, and Elate has decided to move early also. Velasquez and Jose Ortiz both making early runs. They've got a half mile to go, the 6 in 1:14, and that's the reason why, as they race into the turn with Proper Discretion, Elate has now joined her for the lead, followed by Unbridled Mo. Up on the outside, Sneaky Betty's making a strong run. Mopatism is racing in fourth as they make their way around the bend, and Elate is sent to the front. Sneaky Betty's trying to go with the champion. Next in line, moving up on the outside, here comes Teresa Z, putting in her run, followed by Mopatism. Unbridled Mo doesn't seem to have it today as they turn for home with Elate to catch, running a big one off the layoff. Sneaky Betty bidding for the upset, and Teresa Z toward the inside. They went the mile in 36-4. They really picked it up there, and Elate begins to pour it on. It's Elate drawing away. Sneaky Betty, Teresa Z battling for second and third, but it's going to be Elate. Billy Mott wins his third Del Cap. Jose Ortiz on board. Sneaky Betty a game second. Teresa Z third. Photo for fourth. Maybe Furiously Kissed over Unbridled Mo. It's tight.
There's the Hall of Fame trainer, Bill Mott, walking to the winner's circle as Elate wins off the bench at 1.25 miles. She was impressive.
Well, did Jose Ortiz learn a little bit from Mike Smith or what? He did the Abel Tasman middle move. He sensed that there was a slow pace. He wanted to speed up the pace. He didn't want Proper Discretion by herself. And then he took over control. And here's the move right here. They're just going very, very slow. You got a 99-1 shot on top. He doesn't want to get hung out 4 wide. So what does he do? I want to get towards the front and be 2 wide because I know now I'm in front because I got a 99-1 shot and I'm on a grade 1, multiple grade 1 winner. It was the winning move because at the end of the race, you can see she's getting a tiny bit tired, but no one's getting to her. By the way, big ups to Sneaky Betty and Claudio Gonzalez at a huge price, and Joe Torres, who at one point made it very, very close at the 2, had a big shot in here, but did hold on for second. But just no match to it. Multiple grade 1 winner. Class showed today.
Absolutely. As Bill Mott makes his way to take the picture here for the win in the Delaware Handicap. And if you can do this at 1.25 miles off an 8-month layoff, she's obviously going to improve off this. She is very scary in this division now going forward, right?
And she likes Saratoga, by the way.
We know that after we saw her win in the Alabama dominating performance at 1.25 miles, and that was against, of course, 3-year-olds last summer. So likely going to see her again. Gabby mentioned the personal ensign.
It's pretty cool because so many good 3-year-olds and so many good 4-year-old fillies. I wonder if they're going to end up meeting sometime at the end of the year, you know?
Back here at Belmont Park, the Forbidden Apple, our feature here in Elmont, New York, as we get a look at Mr. Haverkamp for Catherine Day Phillips, Junior Alvarado on board. This horse has a lot of talent.
Yeah, he does, and so does Catherine. She's a very good trainer, and this one comes off a nice win at Woodbine. It does have some good turf for him.
Disco Partner, the world record holder at 6 furlongs on the turf. First time stretching out to a mile. He won this race last year.
Yeah, he's going to be a tough one to beat in here at even money. And Epping Forest winning, it probably helps his chances. Clement Barn is on fire.
Chad Brown has a pair in the race. This is Offering Plan. Javier Castellano rides.
Every horse in this race loves to win races. Offering Plan, 7 for 19 lifetime.
Voodoo Song, he went 4 times in 6 weeks at Saratoga last summer. He's trained by Linda Rice, owned by Barry Schwartz and Manny Franco aboard.
He's obviously the horse to catch in here, and look for him early. Him and Pocket Change to 6.
Todd Pletcher trains Blind Ambition. It will be Luis Saez aboard. Chase Disco Partner last start to no avail.
He's another horse that's interesting. He likes to win races, but does he want to be up front? He's one from off the pace. He's a tricky read.
Hottest trainer in the land has been Jason Service. His Pocket Change was no match for Disco Partner last start either.
Yeah, it's only 4th career start for this colt by Unbridled Song, so maybe he needed that a little bit of seasoning, but he's still got to step it up.
And the other Chad Brown runner here is Projected, Grade 2 winner at Laurel late last year. Joel Rosario aboard.
You know, this horse has not done bad at the mile. Just doesn't close the door a lot. 4 second-place finishes, but 6 to 1's a good price.
Forbidden Apple, it is next at Belmont, back at Delaware. Elate crosses the wire first. Impressive at 3-5 in a first start of her 4-year-old campaign. With Eclipse Award-winning rider Jose Ortiz for the Hall of Famer Bill Mott. She was outstanding. We'll have the prices when we come back.
And they're off in New York. The premier state-bred program in the United States. When you own a New York bred, your horse can run for more than $44 million in purses, restricted to registered New York breds. And the New York program pays awards to breeders, owners, and stallion owners when their New York breds finish first, second, or third at New York tracks. We have the quality. Audible, no doubt about it. You have the opportunity. New York breds, get with the program. The best program.
Bayern turning for home in front. Coast of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back there in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The 3 of them come to the wire. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern holds on.
Back at Delaware Park in the Grade 2, Del Cap. Elate for Claiborne Farm and Adele Dill Schneider. Hall of Famer Bill Mott, and Eclipse Award-winning rider from last year, Jose Ortiz. A successful return to the races in her 4-year-old debut.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody involved. The Distorted Human Mare, cheery, and they're very cheery in that winner's circle. Jose Ortiz, and again, Sneaky Betty, 85 to 1, rounds out your exacta, and Elate and Abel Tasman. Wow, I can't wait till they somehow, if it does happen, they can meet again. It's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, that coaching club, American Oaks. Elate was on the rise. Abel Tasman, her little bumping down the stretch. It was fun to watch. We would love to see that rematch. Back here at the Forbidden Apple at Belmont Park, there is a look at Mr. Haverkamp. Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
Checking in with that runner on the inside for Catherine Day Phillips. Now, yes, he has been facing primarily Canadian-bred horses, but this horse blows those fields away. And it's not like they're bums. Those are horses that are running 80, 90 Beyer speed figures, and he's just romping all over them. And the only time he ran out of Canada was in the Saranac last year, and boy, did he have a rough trip. Checked early, then pushed right up against the hedge by Bricks and Mortar. This horse looks great. He's moving well on the track. Stretching out in distance is number 6, Pocket Change, for Jason Service, who can do no wrong right now. And that pedigree would say he can get this mile distance, and I would have to agree. He's a beautifully put together animal that is just very nicely balanced, and he's nice and relaxed too for this try to stretch that. And I don't think he's a horse that necessarily needs the lead, because let's face it, Voodoo Song, he certainly has his mind on go. Number 7 is Projected, who reunites with jockey Joel Rosario, who he's done his best racing for. And I don't love this horse. I don't think he has a killer instinct, but I think Joel gets the best out of him. He looked great in his flesh and coat, and he also is the only horse who got a solo warm-up. So with a little turn back in distance, Joel saying, hey, let's wake up so we're not too far off the pace, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you very much. So, yeah, Chad Brown with a pair in here, offering plan the 3, Projected the 7. Both of those runners at 6-1 on the board. But no doubt who the horse to beat is. And Christophe Clement said as much going into this race. He said, they need to be scared of us. Disco Partner, 4-5. We're going to go back to Delaware Park and check in with Gabby Gaudet.
Well, Greg, this was a very exciting race, obviously. And Jose, just take us through the race and talk about how the pace was developing. Talk about that crazy early move.
I mean, the horse outside of me, I thought he has speed, and he stumbled out of there. So I didn't know what to do, if go or take back. And then when I see him rushing up there, so I kind of take back. And I had Johnny, the other horse to beat, in front of me, and Mario with Dugonil Philly in front of me. So I'm looking at them. And in the backside, I thought they were going really slow. So I decided to make a move, and I did it.
A lot of people are going to say that that was the winning move, excuse me, but she just looked like she had so much power coming down the stretch, too.
Yeah, she's a really big filly, so I really want to get her on her stride on the backside before we hit the far turn. So that's what I did, and when I asked her to go, she responded very well. All the credit to Bill to have her ready. 8-9 month layoff, and great job by the whole staff. The SSR rider, groom, hard workers in Bill Barn, they have it ready. She was ready today.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Greg.
Last year's Eclipse Award winning rider, you nailed it right on the head. Kind of took a page out of Mike Smith's book. He said, I believe you said that off air, but that's the kind of move Mike Smith made in the coaching club of American Oaks when they met.
He needs to know his horses a little bit better, huh? I mean, listen, when you watch jockey interviews, they're not like that. This guy, the pulse that he has on his horses is why he's one of the best, if not the best, if not the best in the country.
How fun is that division? Not only Elate, Abel Tasman, who won the Acorn, but the 3-year-olds, Monomoy Girl, Midnight Bijou. It is loaded. Wonder Godot, who won the Queen's Plate. A lot of fun.
It's going to be fun at Saratoga, isn't it?
Forbidden Apple, loading up. Can't wait. July 20th, yeah, opening day. Right now, we got a star, though, in his own right in Disco Partner. 4-5 on the board, looking to repeat in this race. Got a stalking trip last year. What do you think today?
I don't know, but you're looking at a horse that set the world record at 6 furlongs. So stay tuned, because it might be another world record, because this turf course is fast, and so is Disco Partner.
Last year, this was a stepping stone to the 4-star Dave. They're looking at the Troy at 5.5 furlongs, August 5th at Saratoga next for him here. So it's going to be a different route for what he's going to wind up doing toward the end of the year at the Breeders' Cup. But Disco Partner, no question, he is the horse to beat. Superstar runner for Christophe Clement. He has come back just as sharp as he was last year when he set that world record on the turf, having some issues getting into the gate right now. Pocket Change for trainer Jason Service, who was no match for Disco Partner last start. Here we go with the Forbidden Apple. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of horse racing's Triple Crown for the call, Larry Colmus.
They've got Pocket Change into the gate now. That'll leave Projected and Joel Rosario to come up and complete the line. They're all in line. They're off in the Forbidden Apple. And it is Voodoo Song who comes out running. Blind Ambition on the outside. Disco Partner's going to sit back in third. Projected is fourth. Mr. Haverkamp is fifth on the inside. And then Pocket Change and Offering Plan. Voodoo Song, the leader from Blind Ambition onto the backstretch. The lead is 3/4 of a length. Disco Partner reined back to sit third by Iran Ortiz, 4 lengths from the front after a 23.29 opening quarter mile. Mr. Haverkamp is next, and then comes Projected, Pocket Change, and Offering Plan. Voodoo Song setting the pace, and not all that quick of a pace here, as Blind Ambition is a length behind in second, moving for the turn. Disco Partner is outside of Mr. Haverkamp, heads apart, third and fourth. Then Projected, Offering Plan taken to the outside, and Pocket Change, a 46.3 half mile. An easy tempo here for Voodoo Song, who leads the way over Blind Ambition by 3/4 of a length. Disco Partner is 3 lengths off of them. Mr. Haverkamp, Offering Plan next, Projected, and last of them all is Pocket Change. And they're coming to the top of the stretch. And it is Voodoo Song set down for the stretch drive with a 2-length lead. Blind Ambition, here comes Disco Partner, and he's charging with Projected and Offering Plan on the far outside. Voodoo Song to catch, and a furlong to do it. Voodoo Song holding on to the lead. Now Projected closing late with Offering Plan on the outside. It's down to these 3, and it's gonna be Voodoo Song to win it by a length and a half, all the way on the lead. Projected was second, Offering Plan third, Mr. Haverkamp fourth in 1:31.67 seconds.
2 ticks off the track record for Voodoo Song. You cannot let this horse be alone on the lead, setting those kind of fractions on this turf course. We learned that last summer at Saratoga.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the rest of the riders gave the 4 the race in here. I still can't believe 46 and change is like 49 to this horse. This horse has been running 44s, and he's brave as can be on the front end. And the 3, if we can go back to the beginning, ran absolutely out of his mind, Giant. He got stumbled at the start, got left, Projected, got left. Watch the beginning of this race. The 2 sat in the cap horse. Watch the 3. The 5 went to the table, went down. The 3 basically gets squeezed all the way out of the race and is dead last and almost won it. The 2 had a perfect trip, but Disco Partner, just nothing, no punch in the lane. But you can't let a horse walk around a racetrack, especially a rock-hard racetrack like this.
Yeah, he is ultra dangerous on the front end. There's another look at that start, and the 3 getting squeezed right there. Offering Plan, Javier Castellano. Nothing he could do about it.
Nothing.
Voodoo Song. He's lethal when he's alone on the front end. And he's had some big moments in his career. Another huge win for the resume here. Linda Rice, Manny Franco. He's got 3 wins today, and Barry Schwartz. We'll be back.
An undefeated graded stakes winner on the track, Algorithms was the nation's #1 sire of 2-year-olds in 2017 by percentage of winners. His top runners include multiple graded stakes performer Rich Mommy, winner of the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl, multiple stakes winner and graded stakes performer Recruiting Ready, and stakes winners He Hate Me and Sunset Ridge. In the ring, his yearlings have commanded prices up to $220,000. Algorithms, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Back in the Forbidden Apple Voodoo Song. When he started that run of 4 wins at Saratoga last summer, the first of those was for 40,000 claiming.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, Greg. You make a great point. He was such a sensation at Saratoga last year, and he's carried his form. He seems like he's getting better. The son of English Channel and our bridal song mare, Mystic Chant. And he's holding up the flag for the New York State and Mr. Barry Schwartz. Congratulations, Manuel Franco. It doesn't matter who rides this horse. He gets to the winner's circle.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
Greg, I know you're jealous as we just got to see Voodoo Song up close and personal. Greg's favorite horse here, Linda, but I know you had to be licking your chops when the half went up in 46 and change.
Yes, I mean, the last couple races, they've gone a half in 44 and change, and, you know, he was really gritty to keep on running at the end of it. But today, when the first quarter's 23-2, 46 for the half, when I saw that half mile, I said, you know, we could win this thing. And so that was thrilling.
I thought you just galloped like you did. And talk about this horse's heart and his will to win.
You know, he's got tremendous heart. I mean, Barry bred this horse, Barry and Cheryl Schwartz, and actually I'm getting his full brother here this week, 2-year-old, so I'm excited about that. But he's just been such a delight. But he did set the bar pretty high last year, winning 4 at Saratoga, so I don't know what we're going to do to improve, but he's coming into Saratoga in good form.
I was going to say, are we going to try to run as much as possible this year up at Saratoga?
Well, I think that the races will be a little tougher. We'll probably run less, but they, you know, the 4-Star Dave is a possibility, and of course the West Point and the Bernard Baruch.
You almost forget that he's actually a New York bred. So congratulations again at the Forbidden Apple here, Linda.
Thank you, Maggie.
Voodoo Song, ultra impressive again, Greg.
Yeah, the problem is now he's gotten so good, there's bigger targets to go after. Over, under, how many wins is he going to have at this Saratoga meet? He had 4 last year.
I say he wins 2. It's going to be tough to repeat. But you go back and you look at his form, and you end up realizing he beat Yoshida. And he's beaten some good horses. And there's your late pick 5, Follow Along. Voodoo Song knocked us out. But if you're alive for an okay score, as that pool just got over 100,000. And Manuel Franco, he gave the Derek Jeter pump at the end of that race.
Nice.
Good little ride. I like it.
Still 1 to come. The nightcap here at Belmont. You can watch it on the NYRA Now app. See what happens in race 10. It's a New York bred 25 maiden claiming race at 6 furlongs. It's a wide open race, so you can see how it plays out. Here's the Belmont Showdown online contest standings. And Lu Su getting the money. $258 in the Win Play Show contest. Well done. And again, you can play that contest for free each and every day. Equals real prizes in your account. We saw some sensational performances this afternoon, both at Delaware Park with Elate off the bench, winning for Belmont, Adele Dilschneider-Sniltz, Claiborne Farm, and Jose Ortiz, and going to be a major force in the Distaff division in her 4-year-old campaign. Belmont accepting that trophy, likely going to see her in the personal ensign next. Meanwhile, Belmont Park, Voodoo Song getting the money for Linda Rice and Barry Schwartz. We will see you on Sunday.